Welcome back everyone. For today's video, I'm going to show you a game between Grandmaster Vladimir Kramnik versus a candidate master Rajaram Rohan. So this game was played around June 24th, 2025. So this game was actually a title Tuesday game from Chester, and this game is crazy. So let's go. So Kramnik was playing as black and Rohan was playing as white pieces. So Rohan started with knight to f3, knight to f6 by Mr. Kramnik, g3. So this is the king's Indian attack. b5, the Spassky variation. Bishop g2, bishop b7, b3, trying to fianchetto the dark square bishop, g6, castle, bishop g7, bishop b2, d6, d3, and castle. So everything looks normal so far. So let's continue the game. So white played knight b d2, c5 by black, c4, trying to strike in the queen side, a6, trying to defend the pawn on b5, queen c2, connect both rooks, knight to c6, a3, stopping the knight on c6 to jump into the b4 square, rook c8 by black, rook f e1, e5, trying to control the d4 square by the knight on c6, the pawn on c5, the pawn on e5, and the bishop on g7, and also the queen on d8. Knight to g5, queen e7, e3, h6, knight g e4, knight takes knight, knight takes knight, and f5. So trying to attack the knight on e4 and securing the center. C takes b5. Apparently, Mr. Rohan has had to play knight to c3 because the d5 square is very weak. But instead, he played c takes b5, a takes b5, knight c3, and b4. So this is a mistake because white can play knight to d5, attacking the queen. Of course, Rohan spotted the move, but what Kramnik should have done is to play it a little bit slowly. Oh, the top engine move here is to play knight to d4. After e takes d4, there is bishop g2, king takes g2, c takes d4, and as you can see, the knight is pinned to the queen, and the knight is officially lost. But Kramnik didn't see the idea, but instead he played b4, knight to d5, queen f7. Is this is a blunder because the knight can jump to b6, and let's say black saves the rook like this. There is bishop to d5. Those- as you can see, the queen and the king is pinned. I mean, the queen is pinned to the king, so black has no choice but to accept. I mean, sacrifice the queen, and white is gonna be up an entire queen for the bishop. Okay, so of course, Mr. Rohan spotted knight to b6, king h7 by black, aka Kramnik. Knight takes rook, rook takes knight, queen c4. Of course, white can straight the queens because white is completely winning because white is up an exchange. So instead, Kramnik played queen e7 to avoid the queen trades. A takes b4, opening the rook on the a file. Knight takes b4, rook a7, rook c7, bishop takes b7, rook takes b7, rook takes b7, queen takes b7, and rook e1. Apparently, is the engine says it's a blunder because apparently in this position, uh, white has to play e4, striking back in the center. If f takes e4, there is d takes e4, and then yeah, knight c6 and queen d5. But Mr. Rohan didn't spot that, but instead he played rook to a1, d5, queen c3, set up the battery, queen to b5, and rook to a7, pinning the bishop. Knight takes d3, queen a5. Rook a5. Sorry. Apparently, in this position, Mr. Rohan had to play bishop a3, and then that's it. If black plays e4, there is mate on g7. But instead, Rohan played rook a5, which is a mistake. Queen slides over to b6. Queen takes d3. Queen takes rook on a5. Queen takes d5. Queen c7. Queen c4. Queen e7. Queen d5. e4. Bishop takes bishop on g7. King takes bishop. Queen c4. So the game is a draw because, yeah, they have the same pawns on the king side, and these two pawns on the c file and the b file is are gonna cancel each other. So Kramnik played queen to d6, king g2, h5, h4, king f6 because black has to activate his king because it's endgame, right? Queen g8, king e7, queen c8, king f7, queen h8, king e6, queen g8 check. I'm gonna fast forward here because uh, I mean this game have a lot of shuffling. I mean I'm gonna skip and then white gives a check. Black runs, check again, runs, and then check, check, and white queen centralized on d5, and check again. If white trades the queens, it's lost because this pawn is going to lose. I mean, white is going to lose this pawn, and black's pawn on c5 is going to promote because white's king is too far. So white gives a check on a2. The black king's run. I mean the black's king run. Queen to c2, king b6, queen d1, king c6, queen c2, um, queen to b5. So this game has a lot of shuffling because they were so low on time. So they have to defend the king, especially Kramnik, aka Black here, because um, Black's king is actually quite weaker than White's king. So a lot of shuffling. Oh, White lost his pawn on b3, queen b8 check, and again if White trades the queen, it's lost because the c pawn is going to promote. So there's a lot of shuffling. Like I said, a lot of shuffling, shuffle. Oh, it's a blunder because Black can simply play c4, but instead um, Kramnik played queen to d1. I don't know why. Queen takes f5, queen f3 check. So this is a huge blunder by Mr. Kramnik, and of course White trades the queens. Why this is losing? For example, if Black plays king to b2, there is e4, c4, e5, c3, e6. So both players are making queens. If Black plays queen c3 check, there is queen e3. If there is check again, there is king g2, and Black is up 2 pawns. All right. Of course, Kramnik played c4. He thought that this position is winning for him, but it's not. I think Mr. Kramnik miscalculated something here. White played e4, king d4, king to e2. Okay, king to e2, c3, f3, defending the pawn on e4, king c4, king d1, king to d3, and the pawn on the e file is running. King e3, e6, king takes pawn on f3, e7, king takes pawn, promotion, on e8, king h3, queen to e4, defending the h4 pawn, king g3, king c2, and in this position, Kramnik lost on time and he decided to delete his chess.com account.